What up, maniacs? Shakiel Mahjouri here, and you know who this is. I had to rock my green camo in salute for the Sarge. Sijara Eubanks, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Hey, can't complain. You know, the summer's here. The bad thing that's been keeping us cooped in the last year and a half is slowly phasing out, so I'm looking forward to hitting the beach after this.
Oh yeah, summertime, baby. It's my favorite time of the year.
There we go. You can just tell. I can tell. Everyone I've interviewed just seems to be in a better mood these
Yeah,
days. So that's nice
absolutely.
to see. So before we get into the fight at hand, when I booked this, you were supposed to fight in about a week or so. Unfortunately, pushed back to Saturday, July 24th. You'll now take on Priscila Cachoeira in the Sandhagen Dillashaw fight night card. It's supposed to be Carol Rosa, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's supposed to be Carol
Correct.
Rosa.
Yeah, so a little bit more time, but nonetheless, good to catch up. Maybe we'll sneak in two before it's all said and done. But before we get to the fight at hand, I was scrolling through your Instagram, and it seems like you're not just a natural at fighting. What's the secret to nailing the bullseye on a hatchet throw?
Wow. Okay. So the secret is they when at the time they let you drink, so you got to have at least two beers in you. That's the first thing.
That doesn't
Um,
sound like a good idea.
it doesn't sound safe at all. We arrived and they were like, "Did you bring a beer?" And we were like, "No." They're like, "It's BYOB." So me and my sister were like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So first things first, you need at least two Coronas. Uh, so the double hatchet throw, the place was really super cool, and they were kind of showing us the different techniques. And so, of course, me being a martial artist, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna use the same hip movement and the same hip movements and shoulder movements as if I'm throwing a strike or an
Yeah.
elbow. And so they kept saying, you got to put all the shoulder work into it. So all those years of martial arts led to me hitting a double axe bullseye, which the lady was like, she'd never seen in real life as long as she's worked there. She's like, I've heard of them. I've never seen one.
Hey.
I tried again to hit it so I can get it on video. Have not hit it again since. I got
Mm,
it one time, got the photo, and I'm able to hit two axes on the board. But I haven't been able to hit that double bullseye since that day. So still
yeah, I
after it.
believe it. Too bad we can't have the hatchets in the cage, or else we'd be talking about a
Oh,
whole different game.
heck yeah.
So I saw on your TikTok, not that not that we're trying to kill anyone here, but I saw on you put together a nice little TikTok, sort of explaining the fallout of the Rosa fight and the Cachoeira fight. But you mentioned that you signed a new contract. Can I ask for some deets? How many fights do we have lined up on this one?
I actually kind of a little bit of a slip of the tongue. I signed a new fight contract for that
Gotcha.
particular fight. I just renewed my contract with the UFC 2 fights ago.
Okay.
So as much as I would love to resign for another one, they're like, let us finish paying you this one, probably another fight or two. I just
Okay.
got a very nice contract in late 2020. So, no, I haven't signed a new like career contract, but I did sign a
Okay.
new fight contract.
Full disclosure, contract talks are not my point of interest, but you got to try and get a little news story here and there when you
Yeah,
can.
yeah. I don't blame
Um,
you. I ask them for
so
money all of the time.
There we go. Wouldn't. Let's talk about. Shout out to MMA Mania for the new contract, by the way. So let's talk about the Cachoeira fight, right? So going into this, unfortunately, you're on a skid right now, but you've been here before, right? You've had your win streaks, you've had your losing streaks. So now that you've had experience in the UFC and time to sort of digest these circumstances, how do the pressures and emotions compare to when you're entering a fight on, let's say, a two-fight winning streak versus a situation like this where you're on a losing streak?
They're the same now. Unfortunately, I have been here before. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Um, it all is an individual. I could allow that type of pressure to change my performance. I almost feel like I have more pressure after winning two. So I'm like, oh God,
Mm-hmm.
don't drop another one. Like losing two is like, oh well, let's swing for the fences, no problem. I feel like I fight a little bit better under pressure. I've had some of my better fights when my back's against the wall. When I was in the Ultimate Fighter, when I'm coming off of back-to-back losses, the last time I was coming off the back-to-back losses, I came back and fought Sarah Morris for a total dominant victory. So I don't know what it is about me. Maybe I'm hard-headed, but for some reason, like the more dire the circumstances, the better I fight. So I'm not really worried about it. Like, hey, and I feel like it's almost starting fresh because I'm going back to flyweight now. So we can put
For
all that
sure.
those bantamweight woes behind us and just focus on a fresh slate. And at flyweight, I've only lost once in my career. So I kind of like flyweight a little better. I'm a little bit more successful down there.
Well, and I mean this truly with all respect to you, but I can't say I was happy about the Sarah Morris fight. We live in the same province, and my actual first ever exposure to like MMA as any sort of career goal, I was in school and I actually went down and did a Dillashaw documentary on her. But
Oops.
It's the fight game. It's all good, all good. I'm happy you got to cash the check. Uh, so there's an interesting sort of development with the women's divisions. I always think to the divisions that sort of got their start on The Ultimate Fighter. Of course, the season that you were fighting was for the inaugural flyweight strap. And I think to the strawweight title picture right now, you have Carla Esparza in the conversation for the next title shot against Rose Namajunas, and that's a story that runs so deep. Esparza beat Namajunas for the inaugural strawweight title fight, lost it to Joanna, and has just ever since been working her way back. And I think it's always really telling, like when you are when you guys are fighting for the inaugural belt, and then when you see the division a few years later, does it feel like flyweight has gotten remarkably better overall since Tough?
1,000 times. 1,000 times better. Honestly, when I was in Tough, I was like, this division is looking pretty dang. And that's not why I left it. That's not why I left it. But when I first, like when Valentina first got the strap, I was like, okay, let me go to Bantamweight. There's some more fights up there. But over the last year and a half, that division has really, really developed. And you see girls, not only has the division developed with new fighters, but you see fighters who are vets like Carla. She's not my favorite person in the world, but Lauren Murphy. Like, those girls have gotten better over the last couple of years. And they've been in the division a long time. You also got fresh meat. And the flyweight division, the strawweight division, they're just going to have a lot more girls because most women are smaller anyway. So you've got constant, fresh new girls coming into these divisions to keep the girls that are already there better and better. So I'm actually quite impressed with how much better and how quickly that flyweight division got good. I mean, Alexa Grasso's in there now, JoJo, Jessica Andrade is up there now. So I'm really surprised at how fast that division got.
The last thing on the division particularly, I'm going to ask you to omit your own name for obvious reasons, but who do you think in the flyweight division, not named Sijara Eubanks, can give Valentina Shevchenko the best run for her money? It's Sijara Eubanks.
Yeah, without me, bro, nobody. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think Caitlin. Me and Caitlin. That's it. Okay. If I'm honest.
I mean, I was really looking forward to the Jessica Andrade fight, and then we saw how it ended. I had
a feeling that's how that fight was gonna go, though.
Wow.
Because so I didn't get to really see a lot of that fight, but I cornered Caitlin Chukagian versus Andrade, and then Andrade, I've kind of had my eye on her. I watch all the girls. I kind of know a little bit about everybody. But based on Andrade's style and the way she fought Rose and the way she kind of fought her whole career, I was like, I just thought Valentina was going to be a little bit too smart for her. I don't think Andrade is really one of those kind of fighters that can change up her game plan, especially mid-fight. And her wrestling isn't like Andrade doesn't have wrestling to get Valentina to her fight. She's got these big, fun, explosive lifts. But you never really see Andrade like really setting up takedowns and flowing through and getting on the ground and holding people down. I think that's how you have to beat Valentina. I think Valentina's tough everywhere, but I think the best chance anybody has of beating Valentina is putting her on the ground. Because we've only seen her on the ground once, and she armbarred Juliana. But you haven't really seen her on her back for extended periods of time or in wrestling exchanges. She's never had to defend shot after shot, or she manages to keep the fight where she wants it to be. And I just didn't think Andrade had the ability to get Valentina out of her comfort zone. So I wasn't surprised. I was surprised at how quickly she finished her, but I wasn't surprised that Andrade lost. I think the rest of the division, I don't see anybody coming any closer than that right now anytime soon, too. I think Valentina does that to kind of everybody right now.
We haven't talked a whole lot about your fight. It is a little ways away now, but let's touch on it a little bit. What do you think, sort of early analysis of Cachoeira here, what's the biggest strength that each of you possesses going into it?
My strength is going to be my grappling, my power, my boxing. I think I'm pretty good in a lot of the, oops, hold on, my phone's dying.
All good.
Do I still have you? Okay.
You got me.
So I obviously I think I have the advantage in most areas of this fight. I don't see where I don't, and that's kind of one of the reasons I want to go to this division. I think I can really be able to exert my grappling prowess down here at flyweight. As far as Priscila, I've been watching her a little bit. I believe she's more of a striker, and she's definitely tough. I've seen her get hit a bunch, and she came back from a lot of adversity with Gina Mazzani. So I think she's gonna be tough, and I think she's gonna want to strike. I don't think that's necessarily an advantage for her though.
Fair enough. Last thing for you here, I saw again on just top and tail with the Instagram stuff. Sarge sitting back cool, legs up on the ostrich seats in a UFC appointed limo, but it was the shoes that caught my guard. What are your favorite Jordans of all time?
The Bred 11s.
Okay.
Bred 11s. I've been in love with those. I think that's because I was like my first Jordan when I was a kid. Like that was the first pair of shoes. I remember my cousin, I believe my cousin Sergio, or it might have been, I got a ton of cousins, can't remember. But I remember being a kid and he had them on. And I remember he came out the house and he was like, don't touch my sneakers, don't crease them. He put like paper towels on the bottom. He was so proud of these shoes. And I thought these are like the coolest shoes ever. And I was like, what are those? He was like, these are the Bred 11s. And that was when they first came out. And I was like, Mom, I want some Jordans. My mother was like, no way. Are you getting Jordans? Absolutely not. So I wanted the Bred 11s for so long. And I finally got my first pair last year, actually. It took me 30 freaking years to get a pair. And I finally got my first pair. Thank you.
I love it. I'm not enough of a sneakerhead to tell the story properly, but I had these pair of ultra comfy, pure white Jordans, and they're like slippers, and I love them. And I refuse to wear them anywhere just out of fear of anything happening to them. And I might have not been of the clearest mind in this moment, and a friend of mine convinced me to wear them out on a walk, and it was a muddy day, and we went through the park, and that stuff turned out brown.
Oh.
I've never been, my girlfriend won't talk to me about it anymore because I was so traumatized. Every day I'd be like, how do I clean these? How do I clean these? How do I clean these? Gotta give a shout out to my friend. He spent 6 months hunting down a new pair and gifted them to me for my birthday. So that's
nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, so now I got
you gotta have a shoe cleaning guy now. They have shoe cleaning guys now. Yeah. Not like back in the day.
Yeah, I think I've nuked that thing to hell now, but next time. So I got one pair I can actually wear now, and I got one pair, for the really nice occasions. So
nice.
We're all
good.
Hey, but this isn't about me. This is about you, Sarge. As we wrap up here, is there anything you want to leave the people with?
Hey, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, all the social media handles at Sarge in Charge. And huge shout out to my teammates, my friends, and my family. I can't name them all and be here all day, but I got a really loving supporting system out here. So thanks to everybody for that.
Love to hear it. Sarge, you fight Priscila Cachoeira at UFC Fight Night Sandhagen, Dillashaw, Saturday, July 24th. Best of luck, and hope they'll catch you on the post-fight.
Appreciate that. Thank you.